about solve radical being radical. So first things first is we need to subtract 7 on both sides. And if we do that, we're going to get the radical of x equal 9. Now, now our next step is we need to remove this radical symbol. And we only way to do this is we have to square that. We need to square it, but because it's an equation, we also have to square the 9. All right, so once we square it, we're going to get x. This becomes x, and this becomes 81. 81. So the answer here is x is 81. Now let's check it out. Let's check it out. So we're going to check it out. So we're going to replace x in the original equation with 81 plus 7 equals 16. And when we take the square root of 81, it's going to be 9. 9, then plus 7 equals 16. 9 plus 7 is 16, and 16 equals 16. Now, here's another example here. Here's another example. I'm going to erase this. Let's erase this here. Another example would be where we have our radicals on both sides of the equation. On both sides of the equation. So we're going to have 5t. Here's another example. So 5t minus 11 equals square root of t plus 5. Now, how should we do this? What do we do? Well, again, we're going to square both sides. So remember, we need to get rid of this radical sign here. Okay, so we do it on both sides here. And by squaring both sides, it eliminates the radical. So we only have what's remaining, what's underneath that radical symbol. Okay. We have is what we have, only what remains underneath that symbol. So next step is we add 11 both sides, cross it out. We're going to have 5t equals t plus 16. Okay. And then we're going to minus t from both sides. Okay, this cross out is going to give us 4t equals 16. And then we're going to solve for the t. So we're going to solve for the variable here. Here, and 16 goes into 4 times. So t equals 4. Okay, and we can test it out here. So if I replace t with 4, that's going to be 20 minus, it's going to be 20 minus 11, which is 9 here. And here is going to be also 9 if I replace t with 4. And so square root of 9 is equal to square root of 9. So the answer, the solution here, t equals 4 is the correct answer. Now we can also have this type of radical here. This type of radical here where we have where we might have more than one solution, and we can have to figure out which one is the correct solution. So we're gonna have something called what we call extraneous solutions, okay? Meaning that the solutions that will make the equation invalid, okay? That will make the equation false or invalid here. So again, how we're gonna solve this? We're gonna square both sides, okay? Because we need to get rid of this radical here. All right. So we're gonna have n squared equals n plus 12. Now, how do we solve this? Well, check this out. N squared. We bring over the n this side, so which means we're gonna get negative n, and we're gonna bring over the 12 on the other side of the equal, so which we're gonna get negative 12 equals 0. So this is what you call a quadratic equation here. So now we have a quadratic equation. Hopefully you guys know how to factor out quadratic equation. So we're gonna get n, and it's going to be 3 times 4, okay? And it's gonna be minus 4 and plus 3 here, okay? So if we set both of these to equal to 0, so n is 4, and here n is negative 3. So we have two solutions here. So we need to see now which one is the right solution. So let's try n equals 4. N equals 4 here. So we're going to plug n equals 4 in the n as 4 in the original equation on top. So here we go. So we're going to have 4 equals root 4 plus 12. Which means it's 4 equals root 16, which equals 4 equals 4. So this is the right solution. 4 is the right solution, okay? Makes this equation valid. However, negative 3, if I replace negative n with negative 3, we're not going to get a valid solution here, because if we look at this, negative 3, this will equal to 9, and negative 3 equals 3, which is not a valid. So negative 3 is an extraneous solution, which is not valid. So we'll go with n equals 4.